Hello, I'm Denise LaFrance. Coming up on City Beat, October is Toss No Moss month in Las Cruces, and what better time to remind ourselves about weed control? Find out more. Speaking of lawn maintenance, soccer fields are getting a lot of use this time of year. A look at what it takes to keep them in tip-top shape for soccer players. A lot of fun and fundraising. A look at one of Las Cruces' entertaining and energetic activities. And election year is upon us. If you need a little guidance on the city's election procedures, our Ask the segment will not disappoint. Hi, and welcome to City Beat for the month of October. Each fall, the city of Las Cruces plans a cleanup event called Toss No Moss. This year, the date fell on October 17th. It's a time to beautify neighborhoods, parks, and homes. This time of year also falls at the end of the monsoon season or the peak of storms, rain, and weeds. If you live in the city limits, CLC TV's Jennifer Martinez explains why it's important to maintain weeds in your yard and what could happen if you don't.
You probably don't think of Las Cruces codes officers when you think of fall. It's more like football season, watching your favorite team, or thinking what to wear on Halloween. But codes officers are busy keeping the city clean and beautiful. When they're not dealing with compliance issues or parking problems or licenses, they are reminding residents why weeds can be a major problem.
Well, there's numerous problems with weeds. One, which affects many people, is allergies. The weeds are growing. When they start pollinating, it causes problems and issues with people with their allergies and breathing conditions.
Tall weeds can also be a resting place for mosquitoes or a shelter for pests.
It's a good hiding place for the rodents, snakes, critters. They can hide up into the bushes and the brush and stuff. And, it's nice outside. People are walking, your kids are playing. We don't want any critters to get to them.
They say the best way to attack weeds is before they become problematic, but they do understand that it can take some time once the weeds are grown.
We do take in consideration the location, the amount of weeds as to what it is. I use a standard of 3 days, but I do include contact information. If they have any questions or they're not able to meet that deadline, so to speak, they give me a call, and we'll certainly work with them.
Codes officers have about 76 square miles of city to patrol and bring into compliance, and the average resident has up to a few acres to take care of. So they ask for some type of response if you get a citation or warning.
If the codes officer does happen to stop and talk to you, open up a dialogue. They're not there to pick on you or to cause any issues or problems. We do want to work. We're all here for the same goals: the safety and the health, welfare of our citizens of the city.
Officers say they too understand that the city has weeded areas that need to be maintained and that the public can contact the city about these problematic areas by calling 541-2000. For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Martinez.
Thank you, Jen. Again, the city hopes for compliance, and if residents do not do their part, they could be faced with a $500 fine and or imprisonment for up to 90 days. The Parks and Recreation Department spends a lot of their time each fall maintaining fields for soccer. And between now and the end of the fall season, which ends on November 7th, the city expected 960 games or 80 games a week on the city's limited use soccer fields. Parks Administrator Tim Fulton gives us a closer look at the fields.
We have 36-acre complexes, and it's used quite heavily. Almost 1,000 games a year are being played. There's a spring league and there's a fall league for the youth. And so there's a heavy usage on these fields.
Come on, guys, hustle in front of it.
And so the fields that we have, one is on East Hadley by Solano, the PDV complex. Then we have one at Burn Lake, and then we have the High Noon soccer fields, which actually belong to the school district, but we actually maintain those fields for public use. In total, there's about 1,500 kids that play in the soccer league. This is a private league in partnership with the city. They run the league. We do all the maintenance with them.
Well, I've been working alongside of people when we're working at NMSU getting the football stadium ready when they had their new turf, and I've seen the amount of energy that it takes to get these facilities up and going, the cleaning and all the putting up the nets and, you know, running the cans out and all the different activities that's involved. There's a lot of people in the background, and I mean, I've witnessed it. I've been there. I've been participating, helping to get a game broadcast, and I know how much it takes, and I guess you know, kudos to the city for doing stuff like that, you know. It's just great for our family to have something to focus around and to just talk to her, you know, and my daughter gets involved in trying to coach her, and it's just a whole family activity event, actually.
I think this is, like I said, this is probably the first time I've been out here since I actually played soccer as a young girl, and it still looks the same, and I think it looks great. The grass is nice, and everything's maintained really well. Everyone's picking up their trash, so we're all doing our part. It's great. It's good because they meet kids from different areas of the city, not just kids in their own school. So it brings them out, and it's a good social event for them as well, because they get to learn and grow with somebody else and grow with the team. So hopefully they stay with the same team, or if not, then they meet new friends.
And having children of my own, I know you can see that they're so much happier being outside. And plus playing on leagues, I mean, it gives them the social interaction, they learn the discipline, because I wouldn't want to be living in a city that didn't have organized sports, that didn't have parks for the youth to go to, as well as the adults. I think we talk a quality of life, but what that really means is being able to be outside, makes us better citizens, and helps us get along with each other. So in my opinion, this is necessary. It's just as important as having police, as having a fire department, as having good roads. People are attracted to cities with well-maintained parks and good recreation programs.
Many thanks to the Parks and Rec Department and to parents and players who keep our fields in use. Another event that kept Las Cruces moving was the UV Color Dash. For those not familiar, it's a 5K running event which not only adds excitement and color to the runner's experience, but also helps raise local charity funds in the areas these races take place. This time, funds were raised for the United Way.
Awesome. Well, we're here in the city of Las Cruces, up here in Centennial High School, our newest high school for Las Cruces, and we're very excited to be hosting our very first or annual UV Color Splash. This event we brought to Las Cruces because we wanted a fun and exciting event that promotes bringing families together and doing things together to promote health. So we brought this fun and exciting event, and it's going to be a fantastic night tonight.
You need more tutu on, and then you can just stand there and let the color hang on you.
So the Color Dash is the company that we're running to use this, and Color Dash normally uses powder paint for their Color Dash. Here we're using UV paint, which is more like Kool-Aid mixed with water. And we're doing that, and what our participants will be doing, they'll be running a 5K race today out here in front of Sonoma Ranch and Centennial High School. Well, they'll run, they'll go through several different paint stations where they'll get splashed with this UV paint, and we'll have black lights lighting up the path so they can glow in the dark. So it'll be a fun little thing. So it's done at night where you glow. It's really like a paint party, so we're very excited about that.
3, 2, 1, and go!
Well, what I like about the event is that besides, you know, that you're running, and a lot of people don't like to run, it's you're not really running, you're more like jogging and having fun, and you know, you get to throw color at your friends, or they throw color at you, and with the black lights going on and the music, it just makes it funner to come out and exercise and just have fun all together.
I think it's just the idea of running and having paint thrown on you, that it gives it a different different edge to it that gets people, you know, more interested in it than just running.
I believe it's open to everyone. A lot of the times people get the wrong idea that it's only for runners because it is a 5K, but in reality you don't have to run it. You can jog it, you can walk it, you can stroll it. As long as you're having fun, That's the main idea that they want people to get out of this. Come out, have fun, and while you're having fun, you're doing a little bit of exercise.
A similar event is heading to Las Cruces in November. The Bubble Bash comes to NMSU on November 14th. Funds raised will benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Las Cruces. The Las Cruces Veterans Day Parade will take place on November 7th in downtown Las Cruces at 11 a.m. Some City of Las Cruces offices will close for holidays in November, including Veterans Day on the 11th of November. We'll explain just ahead in our City Minute. You can early or absentee vote in the city's municipal election. For a list of the consolidated voting convenience centers on Election Day, head to the Hot Topic link at las-cruces.org. Las Cruces Utilities is warning customers of a scam involving utility bill payments. A caller has claimed to be with the water billing department and that customers encouraged to purchase a gift card in the amount of the balance for the bill. Administrative Services for Water Utilities advises the city does not operate in this manner, and you should call 541-2111 if there are any billing questions. Movies in the Park continue Saturdays in October through the 24th. Movies include The Goonies, Beetlejuice, Gremlins, and McFarland. Movies are shown at Young Park and begin at 7 p.m. And November holidays include Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and the day after Thanksgiving. To see which offices will be closed and which will be open, you can head to the Hot Topics link at las-cruces.org. Major changes in the city's elected governing body will occur November 3rd. That's when eligible voters in Las Cruces go to the polls to elect the mayor, city councilors in 3 districts, and the presiding municipal court judge. In the race for mayor, incumbent Ken Miyagishima will take on Miguel Silva and Eugenia Montoya Ortega. In Council District 1, Cassandra A. Gandara, Steve D. Calderazzo, and Melicio Eli Guzman have filed to take over the seat vacated by Miguel Silva. In Council District 2, incumbent Greg Smith will face off against Philippe Van Veen. There will be a new city councilor in District 4 as Gilbert Vasquez, Richard A. Hall, and Jack Eekman are vying for the seat being vacated by Nathan Small. And in the race for presiding municipal court judge, sitting municipal judge Kieran Ryan will face off against William M. Kinsella for the position being vacated by Melissa Miller-Burns. Here with important voting information is CLC TV's Udell Vigil with this edition of Ask the.
Hello and welcome. Our guest for this edition of ASTA is David Aguayo with the Las Cruces City Clerk's Office. David, thank you for joining us on ASTA.
Thank you.
Now, November 3rd is Election Day, but voters don't have to wait until that date to vote. They can take advantage of early voting. When does early voting begin and where does it take place?
Early voting begins October 7th, and it takes place at the City Clerk's Office here at City Hall.
At 700 North Main Street.
Correct.
And the hours?
It's hours 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So they can just come in and during their lunch hour, whenever they have some spare time, and do their early voting.
Okay. And tell us about Saturday voting.
Saturday voting begins October 17th and runs to October 31st. And the hours for that would be 10 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Okay. And voters will also be able to take advantage of absentee voting. How does that work?
Correct. They need to call City Clerk's Office at 541-2115. We'll take down their names and address. We'll mail them an application, which they need to fill out first, make sure they completely fill it out and sign it, return it to us, and then we'll mail them out the ballot. They can request applications for immediate family members also. And they'll have until Election Day at 7 p.m. to return the ballot to us.
Okay. And on Election Day itself, residents can vote anywhere. They don't have to vote within the district in which they live, correct?
Correct. We have 14 voting convenience centers, which makes it a lot easier for people now. They don't have to go back to their district. If they work a block away from one of these places, they can just go there and vote, even if it's not within their district.
They really are convenient, and I think we'd like to encourage people to take advantage of these voting convenience centers and to vote early if possible.
Yeah, voting early helps just in case on Election Day something comes up and you're just not able to make it to the locations that we have set up for them. It just makes it a lot easier for people and a lot more convenient.
Wonderful. All right. David Aguayo with the City Clerk's Office, thank you very much for joining us on Ask Them.
Thank you, Del.
Thanks, Udell. We hope this election information has been informative for you. Well, that's all for this episode of City Beat. Remember, tune in for live City Council meetings right here on Mondays at 1 p.m. Plus, all archived meetings and programs can be found on clctv.com. Don't forget to like us on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. I'm Denise LaFont.